So the Premier League has come to a conclusion, and the results have been rather surprising for me, especially when we look at games of Newcastle versus Everton, Aston Villa versus Manchester United. That was rather surprising for me. This was the last kick of a dying horse. You know, this was the last campaign. This was the last game. This is like a final. These two teams were supposed to win at least their last games. With Aston Villa, I can't really fault them as much, because we know that they know how to perform only at home. When they go away, it's a little bit of a problem. But if I were to fault them, I'll also fault them at the fact that they're failing to beat a Manchester United side that is giving points to everyone. You know, we all know that whoever wants points, you just go to Old Trafford. When you come back with the 3 points. And for them to fail to do that, I mean, had they won this game or had they drawn this game, they were through. They had two options, draw or win, and they did not do any of that. So they lost, and now they'll be in the Europa. I see now at the end of the whistle, they look distraught, devastated, and I'm thinking, why are you? You had all the time to show your emotion of how much you want to be in the Champions League in the game, and you failed to do that. You know, but when it comes to Newcastle, obviously Newcastle had they were always going to remain fifth, because they had a better goal difference than Aston Villa. So they also needed a draw or a win, and of course they lost. But for the fact that they had a better goal difference, that's why they'll be through in the Champions League. You know, so Aston Villa, man, I would have loved to have them there, especially looking at how well they have done in the Champions League this season, and also what that could have done for them in terms of bringing in new players, better players, you know, than the ones they already have, because they're also as good, in fact. And also, you know, the revenues that they would have gotten, how that was going to help the club going forward. But also Europa League, I don't think it's as bad, you know, so they'll probably also do well there. I think they need to at least win the Europa League. If they win the Europa League, then for certain we know that they're not Europa League material, they're Champions League material, so they're still in a European competition. But that's not too bad for them. You know, Nottingham Forest also, they've started so well this season. They've done so well this season. It was only on the last days that, you know, the wheels came off, and now we see them settle for Conference League. So they'll be 7th placed because they lost against Chelsea 1-0. Chelsea are a team that wanted to return back to Champions League football, and they have managed to do so as they sit 4th behind Manchester City. So Chelsea will be included in next season's Champions League. And, well, I must say that Maresca's season has rather been very positive. You know, it's I think it's good things coming for Chelsea from now going forward. This win alone bodes well for Chelsea FC. He's probably going to get rid of the players that he feels he cannot move forward with, and he's going to bring in new players. We saw right now, I think they're also flirting with Garnacho, because Garnacho will leave Manchester United this season. So if that goes through, because, like, you know, when you look at a player like Garnacho, you can already see that in 3 seasons time he's going to definitely be a force in Europe. That you can see. I don't know why United are selling him, but I think he will be a very good addition for Chelsea FC, especially looking at you know, coaches like Maresca and how he is so good in getting the best out of players. So for him to, if obviously Chelsea do pursue him and they manage to, you know, to purchase him, then I think he's going to be very, very, very important for them. So that's good for them. So and also Manchester City win their game again. I have said that they needed to win against Bournemouth and Fulham, and that they have done. I'm happy, although I'm not a Manchester City fan, but I'm happy at the fact that they have managed to win the game against Fulham. I feel like with Manchester City in the Champions League, it gives the Premier League a better representation than any other team. You know, I think it's Manchester City first, and second would be Liverpool, even though they are more, or it's subjective really. I'm a Liverpool fan, but I don't know. I feel like City and Liverpool, maybe Arsenal, because of how well they have done this season. I'm thinking next season also they'll pick up where they left off. You know, they'll also be a club that remains in the last 4 of the campaign. So these 3 teams are teams that when I look at, I'm like, they can represent the Premier League better. Any team that's not them, you can't really trust them. We saw what happened with Newcastle the other season before last, when Liverpool missed on the Champions League because of fourth placed Newcastle and United. They managed to go to the Champions League and they gave nothing. They were out in the group stages. So these teams, they cry for Champions League, and when given the opportunity, they don't do as much. So I'm thinking teams like Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City, when you have them, and Chelsea too, when you have these clubs in there, they're going to they tend to do better, which is good for the league, of course. So obviously Liverpool got a draw against Crystal Palace, a very good game. That's the game I was watching. Klopp was at Anfield, Hendo was at Anfield too. It was amazing to see those guys there. It shows that even after they have left the club, they will remain Reds always. And it got a bit nebulous for me. I was thinking Liverpool are probably going to lose. In fact, the last 3 games, I didn't think Liverpool would get any points there because of how they've just been super happy. We saw them in Dubai shopping and doing all these things. They seem like they're just celebrating each and every day. That alone was just enough to know that whoever they're going to play against, they're just going to be donating points. So in this game, obviously Liverpool started okay, but at some point they just went down a little bit, and Crystal Palace was just going at it. They were just going at it, and they managed to get a goal. And from there, Liverpool didn't show enough zeal to want to score, and go on to win the game. So I thought, maybe Liverpool would not win this one. And my prediction, obviously, while the game was still ongoing, with Ryan Gravenberch getting a red card, obviously didn't do any justice whatsoever to what I was already thinking. I'm thinking, well, that's a red card. Definitely, we are done. But it was after that a lot changed. Now you saw Liverpool now starting to play with HNC. They showed now that they're champions of the Premier League. They started now putting more pressure with their men down, and they managed, of course, to get a goal from who else than Mohamed Salah, the top scorer of this season. The top assist of this season. Unfortunately, he could not get 20 assists and 20 goals this season, and very unfortunate, because I believe that this was the right season. This was the best season for him to actually go on and get those things. But well, it's still good numbers. 29 goals and 18 assists. There's nothing really that we can say that can praise him more than what these numbers and the numbers that he has produced while at Liverpool can tell. He's that guy, and he's getting awards right now, left, right, and center. I don't know how far he's gonna go in the Ballon d'Or, because I see that he says he wants the Ballon d'Or. He believes that he has earned the right. I don't know whether it's the right to receive it, whether it's the right to be awarded to him, or whether it's the right to be among the people that are in contention for the award. So yeah, that's the roundup for the Premier League this season. This is the last game, the 30th game, the 30th match day of the season, and well, it's just as you would have expected. Although I must also stress the fact that I'm disappointed at Spurs. I don't know whether I should be disappointed or I should understand the fact that they're just coming off, celebrationary. Is it celebrationary or is it celebratory? Yes, they just come out of a celebratory mood, since they've won the Europa League, and maybe they are exhausted, jaded. Maybe that's why they lost 4-1. But I felt like in the first half, obviously they held it down for most of the first half. They even got a goal there. So I'm thinking, what? Probably them winning the Europa League has changed the mood in the club, so they may go on to get something from this game. And then they go on, they lose 4-1. How unfortunate that is. And I don't know now whether the Spurs fans, what do they think? Do they think Ange Postecoglou is still to be kept at the club, or do they think maybe they should part ways with them? Or are they still thinking of the Europa that they have won? Do they put all their eggs in one basket and believe that he can be the man to make season 3 better than season 2, or is parting ways with them maybe the best option for them this season? I don't know, but I don't know, maybe there's a lot that will happen in the transfer window. And when that happens, maybe he will be able to get the right type of players, and that will be able to help Spurs to compete also. Because they'll be in the Champions League, they'll be playing against big names, they'll be playing against big teams in Europe. And if they're doing this in the league, who's to say they'll perform better in the Champions League? The Champions League is far miles better than the Europa League. So what they did in the Europa League, they can't look at that and use that as a motivating factor that, well, even though we perform terribly or dreadfully in the league, in the Champions League, we'll do just as we were doing in the Europa League. It's a different ball game. It's a different ball game. So there's a lot that needs to change there. There's a lot that's gonna need to change. And well, Manchester United finally win their game. So, like I said, they stick to Amorim, and it's gonna be okay. He's gonna get the people that he does not need out, and he's gonna bring in his type of players. Let's judge him then. And if it fails with Amorim, what United should do from now going forward is they should just give whoever manager comes 1 year contracts. They should just give them 1 year contracts. I think that's going to help them going forward, because now they're just going to keep losing money left, right, and center. Although Amorim has also said that, if I feel like I am failing, I'm going to leave the club and I will not want to be compensated. But also, I doubt he'd give up on himself and say, I can't do this, so I quit. There's no way he's gonna say that. He's going to, keep pushing until something gives. So we'll just see how it goes. And this is it for the 24-25 Premier League campaign. Liverpool win the league, and Leicester are getting a relegation. Very unfortunate. Leicester City are an iconic club, that has won a Premier League. They were underdogs and they managed to win a Premier League. So when I see them going down like this and coming and fighting and going down, it's devastating. Even though I'm not a fan, I'm not a Leicester fan, but I once was when they were en route to winning the Premier League. And also they'll be parting ways with Jamie Vardy. He's been there for so long, and he's scored so many goals for them. He's won them the Premier League, and unfortunately time has come, and now he will be searching for football elsewhere, or he will be retiring. I'm not really sure with his story there. So Leicester City are getting the relegation, Ipswich 2, Southampton 2, which is unfortunate, but it's good that clubs like Sunderland are coming. It's good that clubs like Sunderland are coming. I hope they're ready. I hope they see, with those that preceded them, of what has happened, and I hope they'll be able to do better. Maybe buy better and make sure that they're fit to compete in the Premier League, because it's possible. We've seen teams that came in and they stuck around for longer, so they can be able to do that. It's possible. So yeah, that's it for us, or for me today. This is what we have seen, and we'll just see how it goes. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and also share your thoughts on maybe the predictions that you think will take place next season. Who will win? Liverpool, we already see how much they're spending. They want to do their business as quick as possible, so that the players can be able to come back and gel together, maybe during pre-season, and that way it gives Liverpool the edge to perform better when the season starts. So thank you guys for tuning in, for watching until this point. From me, bye bye.